Hey. 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 Yeah. Hey. What a time to be alive. I left them for dead, now I'm living right. No new friends, no new advice. That was high then, but we got bigger heights. We got bigger fish to fry. Bet on myself, then I roll the dice. Man, it ain't a gamble if you know you nice.
Hello. Welcome back to Honor Dream Podcast. I'm your host, Ara Amen. It's the #1 podcast in Dallas. And I got my very special guest here today, PJ. I'm not going to try to say your first name.
Pranav or PJ, either or.
Welcome, man. So we just connected. You were sitting right across the vendor booth area from me. And you were telling me about how you run a marketing business, you do content creation.
Yeah.
Love to hear your 2-minute story about how you kind of got into that.
So I started working at Chick-fil-A when I was 15. I worked there for about a year and a half, working 50, 60 hours a month. A lot at 15 years old. And I asked for a raise and a promotion. My boss said no. So at that point in time, I was like, I want to find something where I can get into it on my own, set my own hours, and work on it myself, and make my own money. So that's how I got into marketing, content creation, event planning. It's all merged into that.
Okay.
I base it off of content creation is my core.
So why did you? So there's a lot of fields you could have went into. Why did you decide to go into content creation? Right. I mean.
So content creation is, in the business world at least, it's not known. Right. They don't think of it as an additional source. They just think, oh, it's just marketing. That's how we show people content. But they don't think of it as another source of revenue. You can make a lot of money off social media, and a lot of business owners have the content, have the experience and the knowledge to give other people the knowledge to create their own businesses, yet they don't know how to do that. So that's what I do.
That's interesting, man. So it's funny you say that, right? Because a lot of businesses nowadays, they almost have to have a social media page.
Right.
So, and you're saying most businesses don't have that skill set or knowledge.
So let me rephrase that. They have a social media page, but they don't know how to make money from the social media itself.
Got you.
Not by selling a product, but the social media, the views, the monetization. They haven't figured out how to make money from social media itself.
So how does somebody make money off social media?
So there are several ways. The main one people think of first is sponsorships. Yes, sponsorships is a way to make money, but in order to do that, you need a following and you need a brand product that matches your brand. I have a client, he does AI companies. He has an AI social media. So I bring him sponsorships related to AI agents, and he makes money from that because he has a brand-related product.
Okay,
and they sell. The other way is the views and money themselves. So the way I do it, I tell you to go on speeches, podcasts, and panels. I take that content, make him, say an hour of content, I clip it up, I get, anywhere from 40 to 60 clips, and I post about 3 a day. And those get views, and those views turn into followings. Once the followings for YouTube, you need 1,000. For TikTok, you need 10,000. And for Instagram, you need 10,000 as well. Once you get there, you start making money off of social media. That's what I do for you.
Very interesting. So what is it that you currently do now in business? Like, you're 17 years old.
I am 17 years old.
So you've been in business for 2 years?
About.
So what has that progression been like, and where are you at today?
So in the beginning, I honestly went from idea to idea to idea. Nothing ever really worked, to be honest with you. But then, one of my friends, he does podcasting by chance. And he said, hey, you're young, can you set up my podcast for me? He said, I'll pay you $100. So I set up his YouTubes and all that. He's like, hey, do you know how to automate the social media? Now, I'd never automated anything in my life, but I said yes, right? So I went on ChatGPT like most kids these days do, and I asked it how to automate social media. And then for the next month and a half, I figured out what is the best products to use, what are the best items to use to fully automate your content and get it successful. And then from there, I got it done. And he started, I think in a month and a half, I got him to, 600 subscribers with almost 1 million views in a month and a half.
Oh, wow.
So, he was like, oh, let me tell my friends. The friends came, they're like, hey, we'll pay you $1,000 a month to automate this for us and set it up. And that's how we've been going so far. I think we're up to about 50 clients right now. And we have another 50 onboarding with the next 2 months. and now we're going into political advocacy marketing. So we have, I believe, a meeting on Tuesday to talk out that deal. If that deal goes well, we'll have 14,000 clients waiting for us.
Wow. And you're at 17 years old, man.
Yes, I turn 18 in a month.
So what's your vision moving forward, man? Because you got so much life ahead of you.
So a vision, be a billion, get a billion in, being a billionaire in 7 years, because that's the youngest billionaire.
Okay.
That is my vision. Now getting there, we have this political client, and then beyond that, we're gonna just keep expanding, helping small businesses get their social media life on board so they can start making revenue on social media or cheap.
I love it, man. Anything you want to share with the world?
The world, well, there's a lot you can do and there's a lot you can't do, but always have a team. A team will help you expand faster than you can yourself, and they have different abilities than you do. You can't be a one-man show, you never will be. The moment you say you're gonna be a one-man show, you'll never expand as far as you can. Get a team, we'll go as far as the moon or the universe, you never know.
I love it, man. That was a great way to end it, man. Appreciate your time, brother.
Yes, sir, you have a great night.
Thank you. All right, so I'm here with...
Sharia Controller.
Awesome, man. And how old are you, by the way?
I'm 15.
15 years old.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
I own a nonprofit for mental health for high schoolers who can't afford therapy, because over 68% of high schoolers in the U.S. can't afford therapy. And it's also a leading cause for suicide.
Wow.
So,
What's the leading cause for suicide?
Depression.
Depression.
Yeah.
And how did you get into this business at such a young age?
So, like I entered an academy, and I met some people. I saw some problems that the people had. You know, they weren't always in the right mental state. Some of them couldn't afford therapy. Some of them felt insecure to have therapy. So I wanted to solve this somehow, and I wanted to just make it affordable. I wanted high schoolers to be able to get through therapy by themselves, you know, so that they have a foothold to get off of and get back up to the world.
Wow. And why do you think so many high schoolers are going through depression?
I think the leading causes right now are social media, bullying, you know, what you look like, how big you are, things like this, like drugs, all this stuff.
Yeah.
All this stuff are leading causes, especially in the world we live in right now.
Yeah.
People have access to all that stuff.
And
So-
how does therapy help that and make it like a relief for them?
So, I mean, therapy, obviously they're the professionals. They know how to walk you through this, you know, getting back on your feet. They're gonna tell you like some strategies. Other than strategies, they'll help you help you cope. They'll tell you what not to do. And not only that, they'll walk you through why what you're doing is not wrong. So, I mean, it's all up to the professionals. Not a normal person couldn't do what therapists could do.
Yeah.
So,
Let me ask you this, man. Where's the vision with what you're going to do in the next couple of years and even beyond?
I mean, at the end of this year, we predict to help 10,000 kids. And next year, that's supposed to double. But right now, you know, raising funds is a big part of what I'm trying to do. I want to offer it to them for basically free, or just $20 a month, which means, you know, I got to raise enough money to do that too. So my vision is to raise enough funds to make it so cheap that every high schooler has access to therapy.
Got you, man. Well,
Yeah.
what else do you want to share with the world?
I just want to say, be there for your community, help out your community. Know that whoever you help will come back one day to help you in return.
Yeah.
So make sure you're helping other people. Have a kind heart.
I love it, man. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for your time,
It
brother.
was nice meeting you.
All right, I like the fit, bro.
Thank you, man. I like yours, man.
Yeah.
Hey, game recognized game, man.
That's a nice little color tone. I mean, to match that.
I appreciate it. Hey, man. Hey, look, we basically on the same vibe.
we kind of got the same vibe.
I just need some more
going on.
jewelry, man. I didn't rock all the jewelry today. I kept it light.
Man,
kept it light.
sometimes light is like the way to go.
Yeah.
I normally go like real light, but
Uh-huh.
today I was like, you know, pool party. Let's go ahead and do it.
Because you're simple today, so you have to bring on the jewelry.
Yes,
Is that the thought process?
we can roll with that. Sounds good. Sounds good.
What's your name, my man?
My name is Seneca.
Seneca.
Yes.
Pleasure to meet you, man.
Yours?
Aura, amen.
Again,
Aura, amen.
Aura, amen.
Yes, sir.
And that's the full thing.
That's my full name. Yes, sir, man.
Got you. What does that mean?
So Aura, it means it's Kurdish. So I was born in Kurdistan, which is in northern Iraq, And if you look up Kurdistan on the map, you're not going to find it. So in Kurdish, it means trending or
Okay.
popular topic.
Gotcha.
So it's the aura in the air, similar to aura. So whenever I tell people my name, it's like aura, like aura, but aura.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
What
I
about
like
Seneca? What does that mean?
it. Man, Seneca is upstate New York Native American Indian tribe.
Okay.
It's also a philosopher. He had a very stoic doctrine, and it just means old spirit. I hated my name when I was younger, bro, but it grew on me. I'm like, that's definitely me.
It makes sense. It grows on you.
It grows on me, bro. No use to fighting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't mind speaking into the mic.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. Are we like recording?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know we were. I thought we were just chopping it up. You're a good dude. You got good energy though, bro.
I appreciate it, man. You too, brother.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
Man, I do mindset training. I'm actually going to be
Okay.
one of the speakers here. I have a company called the Khmer Experience. Khmer, K-M-I-R, is an acronym that means keep me in remembrance. And
Wow.
we just do mindset training. I do resilience workshops, teaching teams and organizations how to be more resilient.
Wow. That's powerful, man.
Yeah.
How did you get into that? I want to know the story.
Man, that's the
If you-
story. That is
How
the
much time do
story.
you give me the 2-minute
Yeah,
version?
I'm gonna condense it, bro. So I actually went to federal prison at age 19. And then I spent a total of 12 years incarcerated, man. So poor mentorship, poor mindset, poor networking.
Wow.
You know,
Your associations.
yeah, man. You know, I tell people if that person would have taught me real estate, the stock market, transportation, I would have adapted to that just as easily. But that was my deck. At the age of 26, so I went into 19, did 3 years. This is actually what I'm going to be speaking about, but I ended up going back to prison because I didn't change my mindset. And at 26, I was indicted as a ringleader, given 25 years, theft of over $1 million here in DFW, 72-man indictment. This was state prison this time, and I did 9 years on that.
Wow.
And it was at that time where I said, hey, man, I got to do something different, bro. So I just started applying myself, meditation, yoga, read every book I could get my hands on, and been home for 6 years, going on 7 now.
Wow.
And
Welcome home, man.
yeah, hey man, you know, it's a thing, bro, and happy to be here. You know, I do coaching now for different organizations. I have a nutritional bar, a cognitive functional nutritional bar in about 3 local grocery stores here in Dallas. I have a nonprofit where I go back inside of prisons and go back inside the
Wow.
juvenile detention centers.
I got some people I want you to meet, man. We're going to connect after this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what was your favorite or most impactful book during that period of time?
Man, so many. Just pulling one on the spot, I'm gonna say As a Man Thinketh by James Allen.
Oh, that's a good book.
Yeah,
that's
a good one.
good book.
It's short, but it's sweet, man. You know, and whenever I was in prison, a lot of people used to like send like the young dudes to my bunk or my cell who wanted to kind of do something different because I was always out meditating and working,
Yeah.
and I would always give them that book, like, hey, check
Yeah.
this out, see what you think, because it's real short. It's not
Yeah.
it's not a long book, but it's heavy, and it really has all the basic things you need from a fundamental
Yeah.
mindset shift. So yeah, that's definitely one of the ones.
That's one of those books where I'll buy a bunch of copies and I'll give them out.
Yeah,
That's a book. It's a gift.
it's a gift.
It's literally
It's a
a
gift.
gift, man. That book, I've read it a couple of times, and the first time I read it, man, I was like mind blown.
Yeah. Bro, mine looks like a coloring book, bro. I got it's outlined. I got highlighted. You know, I've made love to that book for many years. As a matter of fact, the one that I had when I was in prison, I still have.
Wow.
Yeah.
The one that I drew on, I gave to a mentee of mine.
Yeah, there you go. There
yeah.
you go. Pass
So-
it on.
So, what are some things that men need to realize in terms of inner peace, meditation, mindset, resilience? Because a lot of, let me make a statement. Let me know if you agree. I think men today are weaker than ever before. Would
Yeah.
you agree?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, what is it that men need to maybe shift in their mindset that you're in your space helps with?
Man, hey man, we need a full like 3 hours for this, man.
My podcasts are usually long, but it's the format
so,
right now.
So let me ask you a question. Why did you say specifically men? Just out of curiosity.
Because I believe that so this is my opinion, I guess, or my thought process. If we have strong men, we're gonna have strong women, and we're gonna have strong children, and then everything follows the leader, right? And I believe men are supposed to be the leader. Not saying that women can't be leaders.
Yeah.
But in the household, the wife submits to the man. That's my opinion.
Yeah, which is an unpopular opinion in 2025 from a general standpoint. Is definitely multi-layered, but the reason I took a breath with that was that it was dropped in my spirit about a week ago, bro. Like to do like a little short mini men's retreat, like at White Rock Lake. Just something that's healing. Like I've been a part of men's groups. There's a men that I do network with and talk to, and we lean on each other. And it's just so important and needed for us right now, especially in this time. I believe that the first wave of the feminist movement was very, very needed, but we've had, some other iterations of that hasn't been the most advantageous for us as a whole in society. And I think even most women would admit that as well behind closed doors from a general standpoint. But to more specifically answer your question, bro, like masculinity is sexy, right? And most women would agree to that. Good, strong, healthy representation, masculinity is a very sexy thing. It's needed. And what we need to do specifically to become more, strong as men is to have a new appreciation and understanding of what masculine energy is. And masculinity creates, this is my definition from a very core fundamental state. Masculinity creates safe space. That's what it's designed to do. It's designed to create safe space, whether that safe space is physically, whether that safe space is mentally or emotionally, like that's what it's designed spiritually. Yeah. And women, the feminine energy thrives, it flourishes. I mean, it's beautiful, and every woman knows this, and every real man knows this. Whenever she feels safe, oh man, she's at her best. And that's why those things are supposed to, come together and harmonize. So we just need to, if you reverse engineer that, what are the things I need to do as a man to be able to exude safety in my environment, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and then that can be broke down to line items of, taking care of myself physically, knowing how to defend myself physically, knowing how to acquire resources, being emotionally available, right? And not dogmatic, but being able to listen, but still be logical and make decisions. So all of these things play a huge part in what masculine energy is.
It's so funny you say that, right? Like the more masculine men are, the more happy women are.
Yeah.
So, and I agree with what you said. I think the first wave of the feminist movement was good. Mm-hmm. It was empowering to women, it was uplifting. Mm-hmm. And then after that uplifting, it was like a curve. And it went down.
Yeah, something strange is happening.
Something strange.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Something strange. And it's very interesting to see, man. So I love working with young men, teenage boys, bro, because that generation is going to be so important because they're not really hearing in school that their masculine energy is good. So we as men need to first demonstrate and represent that and pour that into them. And they're hungry for it, bro. Like I just did a teen conference at the Fair Park a few weeks ago. I'm speaking at a varsity high school Wednesday. I love working with student athletes. Because they get the mentality and they're really hungry for the discipline of it.
Yeah.
Because they're young men. We're built that way, right? So yeah, we are in strange times, but there's hope because there are men who are starting to see this curve, and even women too, who understand that, okay, like, we got some stuff right, but we kind of overcorrected. So what does it look like to bring some things back into harmony?
Let me ask you this, man. You talk about resilience. What's and you speak to entrepreneurs and organizations. How do you teach resilience to these organizations, entrepreneurs, people? What's that look like to engrave resilience to other people?
Yeah, so I have a product that I've created that's called Resilience Mental Training. It's a whole curriculum, but it's also an audio. And I use a lot of data-driven information to create these, what I call creative mental health. So I use positive loop feedback, I use binaural beats, bilateral stimulation, and exposure therapy. So I actually customize these resilience mental trainings, or we call them RMTs, to different organizations where we allow them to sit with their triggers and sit with the chaos, and it builds up a capacity to be able to sit with those things and still be able to think. So then we have like workbooks after that to follow along. So basically what I'm doing is just like a personal trainer will work with someone in physical fitness to build up their muscle capacity. I'm working with people's mental and emotional fitness to build up their mental and emotional capacity. So I don't teach stress management, I teach capacity building. Because the more capacity that we have through exposure and not cowering down and being able to still function, the better we're going to be able to deal with situations, which resilience is the ability to bounce back after a setback. So it's not a matter of if it would happen, when it would happen, right? How am I, I go beyond theory of why this works to the actual exercise and training and working out your weaker states so that now you really have the real life strength to endure those things whenever they come about.
What is a avatar that you help? I know it's like organizations, entrepreneurs. Who's like the avatar that you help, and what's like a positive story that came from it?
Yeah, so I'm all about authenticity and being genuine. So this is a very new concept and idea. We've worked with a lot of different organizations. Dallas Police Department, I've worked with student athletes, I've worked with, prisons, and we're really trying to figure out who is the ideal demographic right now, because we have so many people who listen to it and they're like, hey, you should create one for us, you should create one for us, you should create one for us.
Oh, they want it customized.
And then like that sounded great on the front end, but then on the back end it started to slow me up because I didn't have like one direction. I was getting pulled here, getting pulled there. So right now we're coming back as a team and just really figuring out, who is our ideal client and what that really looks like. So the avatar though is anyone dealing with high stress. So it's going to be teachers, first responders, student athletes, anything that's performance based. And any testimonials that I have gotten from my RMTs is pretty consistent, bro. Like 90% of the people that listen to it, they say, I've never heard anything the way that you have created. Like, there's this one counselor, he's a counselor at the VA hospital. He's actually on my advisory board, and he said, we are teaching anxiety and stress, but we've never really had the product that you have created, because I'm basically making exposure therapy more palatable, and easier to actually navigate through. The feedback has been great. It's just really fine-tuning what that ideal demographic looks like.
What's a positive story you could share?
A positive story I can share about my product specifically, or just my life in general?
About your business, the impact that you've made. Maybe it was going back to the prisons or... A positive story I can share about going back. So when I did the workshop for the Dallas Police Department, that was huge for me. Because like I am, quote unquote, not quote unquote, a career criminal, bro, and I don't shy away from that. I'm always open and transparent about that. But when I worked with DPD, there was an officer that came up to me, and he'd been on the force for like 20, 30 years, and he pulled me to the side and he said, hey, bro, like what you just did and what I just experienced, he said, because I'm really not into like the whole mental health thing. He said, but like I could really see myself doing this, and I really appreciate it. It was really helpful. And it was very, it was an interesting moment, because I'm sitting here like mentoring this police officer. Right. And I've done like 12 years in prison, but it just showed. Wow, that's so interesting. That's a crazy dynamic.
That's a crazy dynamic, right? And much respect to him and much respect to DPD and so forth. And but it was just, I think it was Source and God just demonstrating to me that your past doesn't define you. Wake up, do the work, be authentic, be genuine, and just trust the process, man.
It's powerful, man. I want to know your opinion on the prison system. Do you think that I know it's about to be we could talk a whole hour about this, but do you think that the system is designed to keep people entrapped in prison?
My take on things like that is this, bro. Prison is what you make it. You can go in there and you can come out a better person or a worse person. The system within itself, though, it is a machine. But I'm gonna be honest. This is an unpopular thing, maybe to say. But it's a difficult job to run a prison.
It's a what?
It's a difficult job to run a prison.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is that, man, you know, you have some people that need to be locked up. You know, like I've seen a lot. I've seen some people that's like, whoa, like that dude doesn't need to be on the streets. So it's a hard thing to really kind of govern and balance, right? You know, because obviously we know that it's a machine and, you know, it's industrialized, and even how prisons were started, you know, just going back to racism and so forth is a whole nother conversation. So yes, you definitely have that part of it. I will say though that from being on the other side of it, of, you know, working with law enforcement, working with guards at prisons, it is a difficult landscape to navigate sometimes. Can we do better? Yes, we can do better. But my thing is always like looking in the mirror. So I, you know, whenever I'm talking to those who are incarcerated, formerly incarcerated, I'm like, hey, yeah, the prison system's broke. Okay, cool. Fuck it. Like, what are you gonna do though?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, how are you improving yourself? That is a machine that's been going on for years. The best thing you can do is get your stuff together, come home, start a nonprofit, empower these young dudes, and keep it pushing. You know, get your economic power so you have some influence and keep it pushing. And then obviously, if you feel led to want to change policy along the way, and that's something that God put on your heart, then demonstrate that. But I don't really do a whole lot of bashing and this and that. Like, what's the fucking solution? Let's get after it.
Right. That's refreshing to hear, man, because it's like, you know, similar but not really. The school system, the education system, it's broken, but you got to use it how you make it.
Exactly.
So that's refreshing to hear, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I could go on and on, but
for sure.
I'm gonna let you finish off with what's a message you want the world to know.
There's no such thing as being off the path. No matter where you are, no matter how difficult it looks, sometimes your prison can be the best thing that can happen to you. So when I say there's no such thing as being off the path, man, like in the macro, from an eternity standpoint, in these finite bodies that we're living as a human being, take the curriculum. Everything is a lesson, it's a growth opportunity, and when you change your mindset to start looking that way, even sometimes the difficult things can become beautiful. It doesn't mean they're not gonna suck. Let's not mistake it. I'm not a pie in the sky fluff. No, like sometimes life is hard, but we all know that it's been sometimes those most difficult situations that's caused us to be the strongest and the most resilient. So just lean into that, get around other good people who feel the same way. And yeah, man, just become a vessel.
Appreciate your time, Seneca.
For sure.
This is fun. All right, so let me try to open this. This is the first bottle I've opened today, so I don't know how to. So, how do I say? It's a Mama.
Mama.
And what do you do, Mama?
Well, whatever I want to right now.
I love it.
I used to be a teacher,
Okay.
but in East Texas, I taught high school.
Okay.
And then I moved up here. I quit teaching. I moved
What class did you teach?
I taught criminal justice
Criminal justice.
and U.S. history.
Okay.
And I was a behavior interventionist.
I can't open
mainly
this.
for the football boys.
They got. I cannot
They
open
were good.
this.
You need help on that, baby?
Yeah.
Give me that ball. That's what happens when you get my age. You can do it. Gotta put a look.
I ripped the paper off. Is it? That's what I'm saying. It's different.
It's got some suction in it. You're gonna have to get one of these big old thick boys over here.
Let me, you got it? Hey.
That's what coming. You know, I'm 27, so that's what happens. Go ahead.
You want a shot?
Man, a little more. I'm not weak. I'm like a good.
Well, we have a bunch of bottles.
I love this bottles. When you get through, give me one.
You can have one. These were just given to us by
love
Harrison. So I don't even drink right now. So
Why?
I can't drink right now. I'm fasting.
Don't be a quitter.
I'm not. Yeah.
It's all right to take a break, but don't be a quitter.
Yeah. But yeah, we were gifted these bottles. He gave us a whole bunch. Maybe you can take one of these if you want.
He'll give me one. He's my baby too.
Harrison?
Uh-huh.
How do you know Harrison?
Through J-Lo.
Okay.
I call her J-Lo.
J-Lo?
Her name's Jennifer, but I call her J-Lo.
Okay. And so you were. Can I be your baby? Can I be your baby?
Well, hell yeah. That's why I was trying to line y'all out on all this chords and stuff.
I know. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for helping.
You gotta help. Cheers. Water, whatever.
Cheers.
Cheers. do good. Whatever you're doing, do good at it.
So, what is a great U.S. history fact or story? Because you want to know something crazy?
Yes.
History was my favorite class.
It was mine too.
My favorite, I would be in there just locked in to the teacher,
It's
just locked
if
in.
you have a good teacher that can tell a story,
Yes.
Because
Oh,
that's all
yes.
it is.
Yeah.
and you can take history into every class
Yeah.
and learn from it. And this is what I would tell my boys. I taught them a bunch of stuff, but I tell them, like, when they have to, like, memorize crap, you know, which I think is stupid.
Right.
But seriously, I still remember stuff that I did in school.
Yeah.
You need to learn it, but I mean, really you don't. But anyway, it's good too. But I would say, you know, you can remember all these stupid lyrics from songs.
Right.
Make a song out of everything. And I would have like 14 or 15 football boys, and I'd say, come to my house. We'd sit out on the patio, and I'd bring you food, whatever. No smoking weed. Y'all do that on your own time. I know you're going to do it, but you're not going to do it at my house.
Right.
Don't drink at my house, but you're going to come over there, and we would make rap songs out of science, chemistry. And I mean, those kids.
Well, you have the classic, the 50 nifty United States, home of the 13 original
See? You remember it.
colonies. Shout 'em, scout 'em, tell all about 'em one by one. And
Can you remember?
I remember most of it. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida. That's as far as
Don't
I
ask
got. But yeah,
So how old are you?
I just turned 30.
I just turned 28.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes, I know.
We should get a drink sometime.
We should. It's legal now, but so. Where are you from? You from here?
No, so I was born in Kurdistan, which is in northern Iraq.
Okay.
And but I've been in Dallas since I was 2 years old.
Really?
So yeah, this is my home.
Where'd you go to school up here?
So I went to elementary school in Richardson, middle school in Plano, high school in McKinney, and then I went to UNT.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Well, I did not graduate and go back to college until I was 39.
Really?
I was a real estate agent. I got married, had 2 kids, 2 boys, and got a divorce when they were 2 and 4. Raised them by myself. My mother died. My dad said, go back to school. You'll be the best teacher. And I was like, damn. So anyway, I got a criminal justice degree.
Okay.
And I cuss like a sailor. I always have.
I love it.
I can't help it. I do.
It means you're authentic.
What?
It means you're authentic.
Well, it's just who I am, you know. And it's not like I'm cussing you. It's just, you know, and I try to tone it in. But anyway, I graduated from East Texas Baptist University.
Okay.
Actually, Cinco de Mayo is when I graduated, so it's coming up on
It's
Monday.
coming up. It's on Monday. Yeah.
I'm going to have a drink on that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I graduated from there, and everybody's like going, how'd you graduate from a Baptist college? And I said, well, I did a lot of it online, you know, so I wasn't in class. But anyway, I loved it, went back to school, and then when I was a teacher, I took legal guardianship of 8 Hispanic boys.
How many?
8.
8?
Yeah.
How old were they? What was the range?
9th grade through 12th grade.
Oh, so they're like kids. They're like almost adults.
High schoolers.
Yeah, teenagers.
Beastas. They broke every damn couch or chair I had in the house. But you know what? It's the I had for like 6 years. It's the best 6 years of my life.
Really?
And they're still my kids.
How many kids have you raised?
I have a daughter now. I've always had boys. And I have Alex is my daughter. And she is 28. Yeah. It's my youngest Sterling is just turned 27. He lives here. He moved. Both of my kids follow me. And he works out at the Nelson.
He what?
At the Nelson.
Okay.
The Ritz.
Yeah.
So he's one of the manager bartenders out there. And then my oldest son, Spencer. And then Alex is here, and she's a Montessori teacher in Trophy Club.
Okay.
So altogether, probably 13, 14 kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All boys.
All
except
boys.
for her.
And that's her?
No, that's just my baby.
Oh,
My
okay.
friend.
Okay.
J-Lo.
And then you didn't tell me an interesting story about history, or your favorite story.
Have you ever heard? I'm really touches me. Flanders Field. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not. Flanders Field.
Flanders Field. Look it up. It's one of the most beautiful. The French, and it was like during the war, and it was like, you know, when everybody wears the poppies on their lapels.
Yeah.
So the battleground was look, I got chills.
Oh wow.
Nothing but it's mud and mush, but all the poppies popped up out of all that. I mean, it's crazy. But it's called Flanders Field. It's one of the most beautiful, profound things I've ever listened to. And I'll tell you something else. On top of that one, I had never, ever, until I was probably 43, listened to the whole Martin Luther King I Have a Dream speech. Sit and just read it and stop. It'll make you cry. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever read in my life.
I realize I haven't listened to it either, so I got to do that.
It's beautiful.
Not the whole thing. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Make you proud.
Yeah.
I don't care where you're from. Make you proud.
Yeah.
He was a beautiful human. I don't see color. Can you tell that?
Yeah.
I love people.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you before I get off this.
Sure.
If you don't learn or remember anything from our meeting, I want you to remember one thing: empathy. I taught it the first 5 days of every year. You never know what somebody goes home to.
Yeah.
You don't know if somebody's calling them a piece of shit or whatever, ugly to them, beats them. Do they have food? Are they dirty? You don't know that.
Yeah.
Even if they look like horrible, nasty, if they got some funky ass shirt on and they're walking down the hallway, I would tell my kids this. I don't care if you know them or not. Say, hey, dude, badass shirt.
Yeah.
I said, that might be the only kind thing that human hears.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
Be nice to people. It's easy and it's free.
Yeah.
And it'll come back on you.
All right, we are live, Dollar and a Dream podcast with the lovely J-Lo. No, Jennifer.
Only one person calls
Only
me
one person.
J-Lo.
Now 2 people call you J-Lo. Because Mima, that's how she introduced you. Mama, sorry. But all right, Jen, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, I've always loved denim,
Okay.
and I kind of just started doing it because I have a sharp tongue, and nobody likes when I say things out loud and verbally, but whenever I paint weird things on jackets, people love it.
Okay.
So it just kind of works.
So what's inspired you to get into that business? Like.
Because I've always been an artist, but I guess I never knew that it was okay to monetize on my art. So, and why not? I don't know. Why not?
Got you. So, how long have you had your business?
Probably 2 years, but I've probably been doing it maybe about like 4 or 5 years.
Got you.
I mean, everything, growing a business is it's a different thing. Like, it's not just, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been fortunate enough to have parents that love me very much, so they provided every opportunity. So I've always kind of made stuff, but now I'm actually being a grown-up and doing made it a business.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You said earlier that you want to make sure you don't embarrass your parents or respect your parents. Why do you have so much love for your parents? What do your parents mean to you?
Because all they've ever given me is unconditional love, and so I don't know. I feel like that's rare right now in the world. Like that's
It is rare.
So yeah.
So before the business you're in right now, what were other things that you were exploring in terms of like a career path?
This is my first job I've ever had in my life, except for the few times like back when I was younger that I worked for my dad, and he would fire me that day, be like, get out. But
He fired you?
Several times. I mean,
What did you do to get fired by your dad?
I really.
That sounds
I
like
have
so
a low
hard to
patience
do.
level, and I don't like strangers. And so, if I had to answer phones, he had an insurance agency. People would call, and if they were to be like, yeah, hold please, and I would just hang up on them.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
You would just hang up on people?
yeah.
Have you ever thought about maybe you're the problem?
Oh, absolutely. I know I'm the problem. Why do you think I'm fully an artist now? Because now even my friends are like, that's just Jen. She's an asshole, but she's an artist. Forgive her. So take it and run with it.
I love it. I love it. So what's the vision for your business?
Honestly, to just keep making like anything that just makes me happy. Like as cheesy as it sounds, it really is like a therapy to me. So
What makes you happy?
depends on the day, depends on the category. That's a loaded question.
What makes you happy?
I like direct questions, so direct question.
What makes you happy today?
That I actually pulled my head out of my own ass and showed up.
I'm proud of you. Because you weren't even going to get on this podcast.
My dad's proud of me too.
You're funny. What's the last thing you want to tell the world?
It gets better.
I love it. Thank you for your time, Jen.
Thank you.
Elev8.
Let's go, man.
Yeah,
And tell us your name and what do you do?
Well, I'm a CEO, 501c3 nonprofit organization, Jubilee Holidays, and we're in our 5th year Infinite Stages. And we're looking to partner with any businesses that are just looking to get, help out with the community. And so our mission is to unify broken neighborhoods by spreading a message of healing.
Oh,
to
wow.
the artist community that's trying to raise money for a fundraiser and for just charity events, so we can just reach the unfortunate.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, because there's a lot of mental illness going on, and etc.
How did you get into that space?
I come from a religious, church background, and I had a lot of addictions, and so it didn't get real to me until, I was out there, So I realized it only takes 3 years to it affects people. If you just so happen by circumstance lose your job, sleeping in your car, and so 3 years that can affect a person.
Yeah.
And so I had to surrender, to the Most High, and it changed my life. I have a family member, my brother actually, that's out there with mental illness. So it was a lot of compounding, a lot of things that fell on me, and so I just really gave, my life to the Most High, because I always did music. That was my passion.
Yeah.
To do music. So, and I didn't want to let that dream die.
Yeah.
And so I don't want the story to die with me.
Yeah.
Because no one's telling the story.
Yeah.
You see?
That's powerful.
I feel like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If I didn't care. And so I asked the Most High to take all my addictions and give me a purpose in life,
Wow.
Later on in my age, it happened, So he took all my addictions, and also he took meat. I don't eat meat.
You don't eat meat?
Well, I do eggs and cheese, but no straight up meat.
Got you.
Yeah. So,
Man,
5 years now, clean, sober.
Congratulations.
And
that's such an accomplishment.
And with 5 years with the 501c3,
Wow.
Jubilee Holidays. So we partnered with Kingdom Culture Radio out in Houston last year for Hoodies and Hope, and with the Light of the World Ministries and the Cornerstone Church, and we service 80 unresidential individuals, and only 4 didn't get service with Hoodies and Hope, with hoodies and jackets and beanies.
Wow.
So and it was money that I had to earn to do, but I needed to do something for an annual event for the homeless.
Yeah.
Because that was my promise I gave to the Most High. If you help me, keep me clean, I'll do this, because I got a brother that's out there, and it just didn't make sense. I'm trying to be an artist, and I'm not doing nothing for the community.
Yeah.
So my neighbor across the street she did the 501c3. I didn't know that until the day I gave my life, to the Most High. Again, I surrendered and I was just letting them know the good news. I'm clean. And she said, "Oh, my daughter, she does the 501c3." Doors began to open, and I just began to walk through, and that's why I had to be here today at Elev8. So,
well, I'm glad you're here, Joe.
Yeah, I'm looking to partner with anybody.
Absolutely.
Hey, man, and give you a shout out too.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. What's the last thing you want to let the world know?
Well, only great things to expect. It's going to get worse before it get any better, but you have to take the first initiative, and the best moments are ahead of you. So, awesome. You just have to push through and keep the faith and take the leap of faith, and that's what we're doing.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Jeff.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
I'm P-Soul on all platforms. Check me out. My new single, Seal the Elect.
All right, check him out. Boop, boop. All right, so I'm here with Karina. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, and you?
I'm doing amazing.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about all that your business is, what you got going on, because you're an entrepreneur. We've known each other for a little bit. You do a lot of different things, so I just want to highlight what you got going on.
So I do marketing full time, and I do photography as well. But besides that, I do fitness. I'm trying to get back into bodybuilding, and I'm trying to do what you're doing. I'm trying to have my own podcast, channel, trying to do that, but it's hard to balance everything. It really is. Mm-hmm.
But I believe so God created you so that you could do all those things. I believe there's more in the tank.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to really just have that mindset, because it would really help me for sure.
So think about this. Someone like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk, they run hundreds of companies, and they're human just like us.
Yeah.
So they have the same 24 hours we do, so you can do everything. And on top of that, you're amazing. Your physique is amazing.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get like you in physique. I even hired a trainer because I'm I need to get more tuned in with my physique.
But it's all about nutrition. It's all about nutrition. Yeah.
Why is nutrition so important, and why are people missing that part?
It's really the small details. It's like sodium, potassium. You would never believe how much of that plays a role in your physique. You got to do your research, but trust me.
You know what's funny? My trainer always says, just cut down your sodium.
Well, there's a little bit more to that too, because you need your sodium too. I add pink salt to my morning drink, and before the gym. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need your sugars. I eat a muffin before the gym on my leg days. There's a reason for that too.
Yeah. Wait, what was it before gym? Before leg days?
A muffin.
Oh, muffin.
A muffin. You would never believe a muffin would go with leg day or a heavy workout.
Interesting.
Yeah, but you need that sugar or.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, I know we got some short time, but tell the world what you want. Tell the world what you want them to know. Any
about
messages?
Me?
Yeah, any message you have for the world.
To always be yourself. To always be yourself and do your research. If you want to venture out and do something new, do your research and just try everything. And don't be afraid to fail.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Yeah, that was nice. Is that your phone?
How's everything been, bro?
Been amazing, man.
Man, okay, so tell us your name and then what you got going on right now.
Absolutely. So my name's Josh Noriega. I just turned 27, so 27 years young.
Man,
and
happy birthday.
Thank you. And I've been in the day trading and crypto space for about 5 years now.
Cool, man. And what's something that people don't realize about crypto that they need to know about it?
So the biggest thing I would say is don't follow the hype. There's a lot of hype. When people hear crypto, they think, oh, that influencer on YouTube or that guy on social media. You don't want to do that, right? Because a lot of times the markets are manipulated. And so having that level of awareness will prevent you from making stupid mistakes just because you heard somebody say something and, invested a lot of money. But not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So
yeah. Disclaimer right there. Disclaimer.
Yeah.
I got you, man. So what are you most excited about in the day trading, crypto space, and for what's about to come?
So for me personally, it excites me to see what's going on in the economy, with things like the Bitcoin reserve, not to get into politics, but the political office right now is very pro-crypto.
Yeah.
A lot of countries are. So for me, it's exciting to watch that adoption happen, similar to what we saw with the internet years ago.
Right.
I kind of see something similar here with crypto.
That's interesting, man. What else do you want to share with the world while you're here?
So I'm excited to be at this event. I just got here. I've already met tons of great people in different industries. For me, I love events like this because it really expands your mind and helps, obviously, network with a bunch of people. And I think even cooler than that is you build connections that you never know where they might take you. So,
yeah.
What about you?
Man, I love. Well, what I like about what I want the world to know
about the
event. I think this event's really great, man. So I think Harrison did a really, really great job. I've been to one of his events before, and it was phenomenal. And this time around, he had another event. I got my ticket and everything, and I was like, this is gonna be amazing. And then I just had a conversation with him about being having a live podcast here, and it just made sense. He saw the vision, and my big thing is I want to help promote people, give people a platform, collaborate. I know there's ways that a connection or business can be made just by having a conversation or making an introduction. And so the fact that Harrison's able to do that and then allow us to come here and literally sit here, have a platform with this beautiful view, beautiful scenery, it's like, dude, it's super cool. Super, super cool. So I love it, man.
It's amazing, man. I was just at the Master Connect last week.
Yeah,
Another great event
too.
Man, I'm excited for Dallas to do more of these because I think it's something we need, and I really enjoy them. So
Dallas is blowing up, man. Dallas is such a great place to be right now in terms of business, entrepreneurship, finance, growth, connections, relationships, entertainment. A lot of productions moving here.
Yep.
So the movie scene's coming here, the music scene. So man, it's sky's the limit.
It's powerful, man. I forgot to ask, but can you tell me about what you do in your industry?
100%, bro. So my background's engineering, did that forever, or it felt like forever, and I wanted something more in life, and I got into the insurance space, financial services, specialize in IULs, retirement strategies, tax-free accounts, or tax advantage accounts, and so I just show people how to grow their money and access their money tax-free. So everyone needs a platform where they can make more money and gain interest. So I show people how to do that with less risk.
Absolutely. And I know you guys throw some amazing events. I remember going to one a while back, and amazing group of people. So,
hey man,
amazing.
I appreciate you being here. We definitely got to do a long form podcast one of these days. We're definitely gonna do one once we get some things in order. But hey man, great seeing you.
Good seeing you.
I'm excited for what we're about to do, brother.